Good morning, openers. I hope you're doing well. Oh, yesterday was rough. Patrick Corbin. Man. Man, that hurt. That was not fun. That was not fun. Happy Friday, everybody. It's good to see all of you here. Ben Brown, Daytona, Halim, Felix, Brent Cars, D Bogart? Sardina, SWBF, Antivera, Blumplespeen. Man, D Bogart, I'm assuming you didn't grow up in Brooklyn, because I know a D Bogart very well that did. I would be very shocked, though, if you were the same person. Yep. I mean, that Corbin start was so brutal. I had one league, I think I was streaming. Like, I knew I was going to lose E-Ray Wimp anyway, so I put in Mitch Keller and Patrick Corbin in. Didn't even do much. Just made me look worse, even though I already was going to lose E-Ray Wimp in that one. We are not the same. Aw. It's okay. It's good to have you here. 23 runs in 20 innings. You grew up in Queens? Oh, man, that's pretty cool, though. That's awesome. Yeah, that was I'm already getting caught in crossfire about like people debating about Corbin on Twitter. You know? And here I felt bad streaming Rich Hill in a worse ball. Oh man. I don't play worse ball. It's too negative. I don't while like on the game aspect of it, I would have fun. But I don't like the idea of rooting for negativity. So I mean, people are doing it. Silenced. Like, you get to see a Scruffy. You know, Arliss. Yeah, and I remember even, like, yeah. What was the first line of my, I think the first line of my top 200 was, "This is impossible," right? that was literally, like, the first line. Man, it's pretty, I don't know, it's interesting to me. You guys know that, like, with the roundups and everything, I do everything I can to remove any sort of bias or like words that are just for my own ego, if that makes sense. Because yeah, obviously I was high on Corbin. I made like a fun thing being like, hey, we're throwing away 2020, aren't we? Well, here's Corbin, this ace of 2019, who theoretically could be that. And not to say that like it's completely over, you know, it's 2 starts. But yeah, I don't feel great about this. Yeah, it sucks. It stinks. It was so weird. It was so weird, like how much, like he wasn't destroyed by pitches over the heart of the plate or anything like that. It was all like outside the zone. I'm like, what? That's not supposed to. You're not supposed to allow 9 earned runs on pitches outside the zone. Like, sure, you can have like 5 or so. You get some bad luck. Okay, yeah. 9 is just so weird. It's really weird. I don't know. But yeah, already caught in the crossfire, and I want to sing the jingle, but it's too early. I guess Diamondbacks too, right? You're like, what? So crazy. But yeah, anyway, I think the whole point was I try to hide my not hide. I try to be open about them. And like, I know that everyone reading the roundup is like, oh, so we're all dropping Corbin, right? Like, we have to drop Corbin after this. And, you know, it would be easy for me just to be like, oh, yeah, I know what you're feeling, and I'm just going to confirm it for you. And everyone's like, oh, thank you, Nick. Like, that's, you know, you just make me feel better, you know. That's the easy road, I guess. And I don't know. Once I like put out that stuff out of the way, I feel I can have like an honest conversation about it. And I hope it doesn't come across as me trying to save face or that I can't get rid of my initial perceptions or stuff like that. That's all. It's a very interesting moment every time because it happens every year. It's like I always do say I'm going to be wrong, but then when I'm wrong, it doesn't matter that I said that. Yeah, well, I mean, actually, I will say, the philosophy I had entering the drafts, I had like the top 42 and actually a couple guys outside of that 42 as well have been, I would say, like 80% successful. Thinking of the ones like inside of that, like, let's just even say top 50 that have really disappointed. Have been the ones that this is kind of funny. Really, the ones that have disappointed have been the ones that I forced myself to be higher on so that I wouldn't let emotion get in the way. And that was Strasburg, Corbin, and Greinke. Those have been the actual disappointments. And Fried. But Fried, like, I didn't, Fried was just there because he had to. Good morning, Kyle. Yeah, it's about being right more times than wrong. Exactly. I did not get a chance to watch Scooble, but he's still not complete yet, How did Acuna hit the Rogers pitch? That was cool. I gotta say, hand it to Acuna. He cheated out on it. He expected an inner fastball and turned on it, but it's like it's a lot. It's just one of those things. Yeah, Pineda is like the coolest thing. But anyway, I would say, so I wanna actually just look at the list really quickly. I'm just gonna do this for 2 seconds. Indulge me, because again, it is not the time to take we're not completely done with it. It's 2 starts. But I'm looking at the list and who has been a massive disappointment, really. I mean, we talked about Castillo and Maeda, but fine. Like, it's not really much. Hendricks really hasn't. Well, no, Wheeler a little bit, but not really. Yes and no. Fried has been a disappointment. Corbin, Greinke. I would say Kluber to an extent, yeah. I feel like that's going to turn around, but Paddock has been. And that's about it. Like, maybe Tyone you can say, but that's honestly was kind of like you're going to give him 3 starts or whatever. That's it. Luzardo maybe too I should include. But that's a really good ratio for like the top 50 or so, Like, I'll take that all day. And the fact that the guys after that have all been like all over the place is part of the plan. Yeah, with Urias, his fastball command wasn't as good. Like, it was shaky. And his changeup wasn't there. It was like a 15% CSW yesterday? That's not it. That's not it at all. Anyway, hey guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're surviving on your squads. I hope you trust the process. It's not a best ball league. It's interesting. I think at like the first week of May. That's not true. I'd probably say the next week or two are probably the most important ones for fantasy. So for example, this past week, like Carlos Rodon was a hot topic. Trevor Rogers, sure, maybe Freddie Peralta, those, and like maybe Kikuchi. Those are like the 4 guys so far that were all like, oh, okay, this actually may be something that you want to hold on to at this moment, right? Now there was also like Logan Webb, but that one's done. So Adbrell's like, no, that one's done. You know, we've already moved on from others as well. But so far, those are like the gets, you know, and I think it's a very small number, and also a number that can change very quickly. Like, not all 4 of them are guarantees. So typically what happens now, it's, the 16th. We are officially 2 weeks into the season. Now is when we start seeing past the initial worry. The initial, like, okay, get yourself comfortable up to the certain pitch count you want, and maybe like you had increased velocity the first one but not the second one, or maybe you need another one to ramp up, stuff like that. It begins to settle in, right? Remember, it's the first one's exception, then it's suggestion and confirmation, something like that, for 3 starts, right? And then, so there are like certain names in my head right now that I'm thinking like, oh, that one could actually turn into something that might be more apparent in the next week or two. I mean, there are certain bad matchups. For example, like Justin Dunn is one for me. But 2 terrible matchups now. I would consider dropping Scuba, but yeah, that could theoretically be something that showcases itself. I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, now is the time to really, you should feel secure with about at the very least 3 of your starters, if not 4. And or if not more, really, but at the very minimum, you should have 3 at this point. That you're like, oh yeah, I've got 3 starters. So yeah. And I think in the next week or two, a lot of us should be like, okay, now is when we really decide on who the major guys are. And I get a good feeling there's going to be at least like 2 or 3 that make themselves very clear in the next week. So be ready for it. Okay. It is 8:45 and 2 zigzags. That's just, yeah, I just work that way. All right. And yeah, I think some people are going to mention Jake Junis in that discussion too. Believing in the cutter, I just saw on Twitter. Like, yeah, man, I want to, but maybe it's a Vargas rule. But you guys know how I feel about Junis. Washington and Atlanta pitchers. The Scherzer underperformed. Yeah. Strasburg and Corbin certainly have. Fried and I guess Ian Anderson. Morden, I mean, I guess he kind of has underperformed, but like I didn't mention him before because I'm not worried at all about him. I don't really think you guys are either. All right, so I've got my bullpen notes and my batter's box notes. Who am I using from the roundup yesterday? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be Patrick Corbin. By the way, Justin Dunn, y'all, it worked. It worked. I'm really excited about this. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cash. I mean, this is... I mean, you guys understand this. Like... Well, first of all, I'm going to say this. It's April 16th today. The season is not determined. There's so many times we look back at like, we have discussions about the previous season and the off season. We're like, okay, yeah. They're like, oh no, but his second half was amazing. And like, he did so well and blah, blah, blah. And, if you take away his first 2 starts, and I'm not going to rule out the fact that like we could be talking about that with Corbin. It's not over. It's 2 weeks. It feels like it's over because like, oh my God, what a start, but it's just 6 months. 2 starts does not make a season. Strasburg, I am more worried about for the long term. That's very worrisome. Hey, there you go. Who do I want to talk about from yesterday? I'll talk about Arias for a second. Man, Michael Pineda is just defying everything. It's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about the pain that was Chris Paddock versus Mitch Keller. I don't know how many of you were part of that yesterday, but that was something. You would have witnessed my pain. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty funny. I forgot about this. But yeah, I wrote a whole thing about Jacob Junis in 2017. You know? When he had a 1.8 ERA, a strikeout per inning, and like one walk or so in those 4 starts. And I wrote about him. It was like 4 starts of this. What is going on with Jacob Junis? I showcased the cutter, which is the slider. I showcased a fastball. And it was like, okay, we believe in the slider, but the fastball isn't really that great. And we can't really rely on this in the future. And that's exactly the same feeling that we have now. Like, it doesn't, it's startling to me. It really, really is. Like, it's the same thing. History repeats itself. Okay. Like, I could just literally put out that article tomorrow. I went and checked Pineda for Pine Tar. That's funny. I think this is fine. This is gonna be a relatively short one, I think. It's interesting. The SP roundup is not nearly as like intense as we've seen before. But it's exactly what you need. You don't need this like amazing graphic for it. Or I don't mean not amazing. I mean like, incredibly detailed. Like Justin has put out all these amazing ones, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, no. Today it's gotta be simple, straightforward. Like Corbin burned. Let's just to have him burning. It's perfect. I love it. It's so good. Really good text on it too. Disney re-releases stuff all the time. Why not you? Well, because it was on Fangraphs and not. I can't do it on Pitcher List, sadly. This is actually one of my first articles I wrote for them. That was one of the first ones I wrote. Okay, so that's all set. I just need to do news now. Cool stuff. What do you think is a realistic Ohtani's ceiling for 2021? It's a very good question. I mean, okay, so we were talking ceiling. It's going to be like a 30% strikeout rate. It's probably going to be like a 115 whip, and it's going to be like a 370 ERA. That's a 3.5 ERA. That's like your ceiling, right? I'm not going to expect sub 3 ERA from him. I'm not going to expect better than 115 whip because the walks will probably be a thing. But I think that's a realistic ceiling, 30% strikeout rate. I mean, I don't think anyone can deny that part. All right, we're going to look up some news now. It's got to have that. All right, Romano. Oh yeah. Oh my lord. Yep. Yep. That's. Is that mentioned inside the reliever stuff? It's not. Okay. So. Um. Okay. Jordan Romano to IL with an elbow injury. Cueto placed on the IL with lat strain. Nomar Mizara on IL. Oblique strain. Yeah, Ross Stripling. Yep, yep, yep. Dinelson Lamet will throw 65 to 75 pitches. Then the plan is for him to drive back to San Diego. Huh. What do you, okay, over, like, no, it's going to be under 125, I would think. How much can be attributed to the White Sox new pitching coach? I wouldn't say a lot. They're doing the same thing. Lance Lynn's doing the same thing. Giolito is doing the same thing. I don't know about Rodon, but Cease isn't fixed. You know, Keuchel hasn't looked particularly sharp. I'm very hesitant, honestly, to like say, oh, it's the pitching coach, because there's no real quantifying way of doing that. Not to say the pitching coaches aren't immensely helpful. They certainly are. But I can't say like how much is attributed to them, you know. It's kind of like you only praise a manager when a team wins, and then you don't when they don't. But it's like there's so much more that goes into everything, you know. Like Moneyball talking about already how he really like honed in that team, and it's like, well, no, that's not. Not to say he wasn't good, you understand. So it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of news. Have you heard of what he brings to that staff or things he's worked on with the pitchers? I haven't been able to really follow that, no. Yeah, exactly, Fibby Flab? Is that what it is? I kind of like that. Fibby Flab. All right. Let's see here. Is there any other things that... Oh, he had Kevin Biggio left with pain in his hand. So monitor that. Why did I write his hand? Gavin Lux with a sore wrist. Ha! I didn't know that Ryan Tepera threw behind Brandon Woodruff and he got suspended 3 games. I missed all of that. Whoa. Dylan Cease should could still be starting today against the what is it? The Red Sox. The Battle of the Pink Laundry. Okay, we're cool here. Hey, it's almost 9. I didn't even make it. Didn't even mess that up. All right, so do we have a question, guys, that you want to ask that we can ask on the podcast? Ah, man. Who is today's streamer? I'm trying to remember. I didn't really like it, right? Oh, I did. Oh, it's Tony Disco. Oh, let's go. Oh, man. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm reacting to random things. I'm seeing comments that I have to ignore. I'm seeing discussions that I know I'm going to have, you know, comments and whatever that I'll engage with and stuff like that. Do we start Odorizzi against the Mariners? Absolutely. But yeah, all right. If they're inside the top 40, I'm not sitting until the hot months. Then they wouldn't be top 40. Daytona. I don't think the new baseball is having the effect MLB intended. Kind of crazy. Yeah, it's weird. I think they're still figuring out what changes they make, what kind of, like, if they change the baseball, what changes are there, you know? I don't think they really know. That's a good question. All right, I'll go with that one, C-Plud. Good stuff. But all right, guys. Let's do it again. Oh, can I just copy it every time? Can I do more than like 2 choices for these predictions? You guys have 1 minute. Good luck. We're all counting on you. Will I have 3 or more? Or fewer than 3 edits today? You have 1 minute. And no edit Fridays, right, guys? Channel points, I think you can highlight your you can highlight like your comments. You can do some stuff too, I think. I'm going to be continuously refining Twitch, guys. We're going to be doing this until, I mean, this daily stream until the end of September. But then I'll do stuff in the off season, obviously bring it back next year. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff. So, yep. There you go, Asher. Let's see. I'm running out of time, y'all. Get your predictions in now. Ha. Oh, man, I'm on tilt. So it is longer than usual hitter blurbs, and that might mess me up. That's some inside information on your predictions. So I'm seeing here, 58% of you believe I'm going to mess up. All right. I see how it is. I see how it is. Here we go. Here we go. Wish me luck. And remember, no edits equals 2 PL plus. 2 people get PL plus for a free month. A little fire under his butt. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You understand. Here we go. You ready? Am I ready? No, I need this. Hold on. Okay. An average number of edits. Oh, but I don't want that to be average. That's me consistently messing up. You know? If your batting average is 200, but you're consistently that, then that's still messing up, even though that's your average. Okay. Way to hedge your bets, Daytona. Here we go. What is happening? Welcome to the First Pitch Podcast, your morning podcast from Pitchos.com. My name is Nick Pollock. Today's April 16th. Happy Friday. I am live on Twitch, twitch.tv/pitcherlist. And we are going to talk about baseball. Nomar Mazara heads to the IL with an oblique strain. Jordan Romano to the IL with an elbow injury. Johnny Cueto is placed in the IL with a lat strain. Kevin Biggio left with pain in his hand yesterday. Monitor that situation. Gavin Lux is dealing with a sore wrist. Also monitor that. Dinelson Lamet threw 70 pitches and will join the team next week. They said he's going to drive up to San Diego. Pretty exciting there. Depends on who he's pitching against, but I would think I would be starting him if I rostered Dinelson Lamet. I know still ill, all that kind of stuff, but I think you still go with Lamet. It's just too fun. And also with the Padres, you have Fernando Tatis Jr., who will be activated from the IL today. I feel very strange about this. I feel like it should have been a lost season for Tatis, and we're playing on borrowed time. But you should be getting Tatis Jr. inside your lineups. And lastly, Dylan Cease, who was on the COVID IL, should be starting today against the Red Sox. Tony La Russa said that he was optimistic. The batter's box from yesterday is from Adam Howe. He has the blurbs today. He leads with Justin Turner, who went 3 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBI. After his 3 for 3 night and just a triple away from the cycle, Justin Turner led the way for the Dodgers as they finish off a sweep of the Rockies in Los Angeles on Thursday. The 408-foot home run was the 4th of the season for Turner, and he's shown no signs of slowing down entering his age 36 season. Now batting .432 on the season, Turner is seeing and hitting the ball extremely well right now, as shown by his 16% barrel rate and .547 WOBA thus far. Eduardo Escobar went 2 for 5 with a home run. Escobar tacked on his 5th home run of the season, going back-to-back with Carson Kelly in the first inning for the Diamondbacks against Patrick Corbin. He looks to put the 2020 season behind him and has started the season collecting just 1 hit in just 21 at-bats. However, since he's gone 11 for 32, collecting 10 runs, 9 RBI, and a stolen base in his last 7 games. And then there's Vladito Guerrero Jr. is 3 for 5 with a double and RBI yesterday, had that home run. The year of Vlad continues, and Guerrero extended his hit streak to 8 straight with a 3-hit performance last night. He's lifted his season average over the 400 mark to go along with a 16% walk rate and 17.5% K rate. To nobody's surprise, Guerrero recorded the 2 hardest hit balls of the night, including his 456-foot shot in the 7th inning. For relievers, we have Kendall Grayman. I was so close. I said Grayman. I can't do that. 1 edit. That's all I'm going to. Just 1 edit. For relievers from yesterday, also from Adam Howe, Kendall Graveman recorded his 2nd save in the first game of the doubleheader, while Rafael Montero was used in the 6th inning to set up Graveman. So it may be back and forth there a little bit. You have Kenyon Middleton, who got his 2nd save of the season, closing out the Mariners' victory in the 2nd game. A.J. Minter blew the save, but got the win for the Braves. Taylor Rogers allowed 3 inherited runners to score in the 8th, while Alex Colomé got the win for the Twins. Ian Kennedy got the 3rd save of his season in extra innings. And David Price got his first career save to end 2 edits. Okay. And David Price got his first career save as the Dodgers bullpen was depleted after being used the day prior. Starters from yesterday's games. Yes, I live with Patrick Corbin. This hurt. This was painful. There was another starter too that were painful too, but I mean, this was ridiculous. 2 earned runs, 2 innings, 9 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. I can do a very long ramble about this, but I'll say this. 2020 was weird, and essentially I was high on Corbin for the reason thinking that 2019 was amazing, 2020 was weird. It kind of got better as it went on, and I wanted to throw it away for 2021. 2 starts in does not make Corbin's season. I know the rational thing, or at least the thing we all want to do, is drop Corbin now and take the L. And I understand that. I also understand that 2 starts does not make a season. Corbin was not throwing meatballs here, and they were getting crushed. It was very strange. It was all outside the zone contact that induced all these runs. I have to believe that this just isn't the end of Corbin. If you want to drop him, fine. Rid him of this headache. Rid yourself of this headache. I get it. I'm going to be holding on to him when I roster him. It's not over yet. And to see him above 90 miles per hour, okay, maybe there's a little tweak to be made here. But don't completely give up on Patrick Corbin just yet. If you want to bench him a start or two, fine. But I just got to say, it's just 2 starts, and this is a really, really bad one. But look, it's full season. It's 2021. It's a long, long season. And we've seen all the time pitchers have a blow-up start. It happens. And just don't rule out, just because it's the beginning of the season, that Corbin is now completely done. Julio Urias also had a disappointing start. He faced the Rockies yesterday, 4 earned runs in 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Urias didn't have his fastball command, and his changeup was not really there. The breaker was good. It got strikes and everything, but this wasn't pristine Urias. I think he's going to be fine. It's really disappointing to see this against Rocky Road, and I will say the first 5 innings, it was just 1 earned run. Then he had trouble in that 6th inning and final inning. Yeah, you just keep holding on to Urias. Don't really worry. Don't overthink about this one. Michael Pineda just keeps being awesome. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Against the Red Sox, I just, it's a Vargas rule almost. Vargas rule usually is for those without any sort of strikeout upside, and Pineda is whiffing all the batters with his slider right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but you might as well. If you have Pineda, just, I guess, hold. I really did think after the first 2 starts that he would struggle here against the Red Sox and against tougher opponents, but I was wrong. And yeah, you just hold on to Pineda now. Justin Dunn, though, I will say this. He had 8 walks in the first start. Seemed like, okay, can't trust him at all. Well, he did really well against the Orioles yesterday. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Velocity is up. He's at 94 miles per hour right now after going about 91 and change last year. Slider is getting good movement on it. I think there's still a little bit room for improvement. He had a 21% swing strike rate on it, but it was 3 for 14. It wasn't really this overwhelming pitch that, here comes the slider. I think we can get there with Justin Dunn, and don't rule out the possibility that Justin Dunn can continue to improve. He might be, it might be Kikuchi and Dunn as the 2 best starters inside the Mariners rotation. Sorry, Marco Gonzalez. Sorry, Justice Sheffield. But there is promise here in Dunn, and I don't want you to ignore that at this moment. Chris Paddock faced the Pirates. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Paddock, you would think, he's maybe fixed now. No. I watched this one on Twitch with everybody. And it wasn't great. His fastball is not the pitch from 2019. That pitch was able to go inside to both lefties and righties with confidence and get the results he wanted. He would overpower and enforce your hand as a batter. Paddock is trying hard. It feels like he's fighting against himself to put that fastball where he wants, and the fastball just isn't as good as it was before. So I'm still concerned about Paddock. I think if you roster him, this is the moment to sell high. Marco Gonzalez, speaking of which, from Justin Dunn, also faced the Orioles. It was a doubleheader there. Had a similar line, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. He had a 2-run homer against Trey Mancini and then settled down. It's encouraging. I think he's still roster Gonzalez, but it does get harder now. He has a tough matchup or 2 ahead. Good luck. We're all counting on you. No, it's something that I don't know. I don't really have a huge. I feel like, for example, the ceiling for Dunn is more tangible. Even though Marco Gonzalez had that sub-1 whip season last year, I don't think that's a realistic season. And yeah, be careful with Marco Gonzalez. Don't just assume that he's going to be that low 3 ERA and fantastic whip pitcher through the year. Jacob Junis is causing a lot of discussion right now. He's inducing it. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He has this new cutter, and he's having success with it. Fastball is fine. It got a ton of called strikes against the Jays yesterday. I mean, it was really shocking how many called strikes in the middle of the zone. The Jays were like, yeah, sure, whatever, fine, and just let it go. And I gotta say this, it's really entertaining to me. One of the first articles I wrote for Rotographs back in 2017 was an article about Jacob Junis, who was going on a 4-game stretch of a sub-2 ERA, a strikeout per inning. And I was like, hey, is this something legitimate or not? And at that time, Junis' repertoire essentially was one really good secondary pitch. It was a slider then. It's this cutter now. And a 91-mile-per-hour fastball, and which is exactly what Junis has now. And I pretty much said, hey, this isn't sustainable. And it wasn't. Junis has never had an ERA below 4. This is not something I think that you're going to feel in a month or so like, oh, man, I can't believe I missed out on the Junis train. What was I thinking? If you want, look, I'm all for spec ads at this point. Just don't lean in too hard. If you want to take one start and see how it goes, sure. If you're asking if I have confidence this is going to be the breakout of 2021, I'm going to tell you no, because he doesn't have a third pitch and his fastball is not a good one. It's the same story that we've been talking about for ages with Junis. It's kind of funny to me. I feel like I could just put out that article again and it would be exactly the same thing now. And that was 4 years ago in 2017. So something to think about with Junis. But hey, if you want to pick up Junis, by all means, good luck. I hope it's successful. Ian Anderson and Mitch Keller are going to round this out. They were pitching around the same time yesterday, and they were both disappointing, and one more so than the other. Ian Anderson was the winner of the Gallows poll, as his fastball was missing a ton of bats yesterday. Changeup, though, wasn't getting the whiffs. It was getting foul balls, but it had an 8% CSW, which is not what you want to see. He went 5 innings, pitched 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. I think he has the tool set. He has the blueprint for success. This is just going to take some time. Ian Anderson needs to get more comfortable with his locations and just figuring out his mechanics exactly. It's just a timing thing, I think, with his release point and all. And I very much believe he can get there. So I think second half Ian Anderson is going to be better than first half Ian Anderson. But yeah, stick with this. Don't worry about this too much. Keep starting Ian Anderson. While Mitch Keller, yes, it was the Padres, but it doesn't really matter. 3.1 innings, 7 earned runs, 9 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. How am I going to feed my family with this? Oh, man. I was in pain. Essentially, watching the start, Mitch Keller is like, hey, I want to throw high fastballs. That's a very good thing. We're in on that. You need to have, though, if you're throwing high fastballs, you got to have something else unless you're Jake Odorizzi. And even Jake Odorizzi has like secondary pitches he can throw for strikes and stuff. Mitch Keller was sure throwing a curveball and slider for a strike, but they were terrible. And it was just pain. The only thing he could ever rely on was a high heater. And so the Padres just kind of waited for that. And then pitches that they normally aren't slapped down the line for doubles happened twice with high fastballs. He threw one good slider that shocked me to Kim to start the third. And I was like, oh, there it is. If you have that and you pair it with a high fastball, this will work. But unfortunately, it wasn't there for the start. And, do not roster Mitch Keller right now. Look, if he gets that slider consistent and he improves his curveball locations, there is something there. But, man, don't put yourself in harm's way right now. This might take a while. And that's incredibly, incredibly frustrating. All right, looking forward to today. Here is Mark with the weather. Thanks, Mark. Today's streamer is Anthony Descofani, otherwise known as Tony Disco, against the Marlins. He actually gets the Marlins twice in a row now. I love this. This is a very easy streaming pick for me. I would be starting him in all leagues where I could. And as I like to do, I'm going to be taking a question from Twitch chat today. This is from CPlud222. They ask, what pitcher outside the top 60 are you watching the closest over the next 2 starts? And that's a very I love that question a lot. I'm looking at my list right now to try and get a good sense of it. I would probably say Justin Dunn, as I mentioned before. I'm very interested in that. Huascar Inoa as well is someone I want to see that he's still consistent with good heater locations and using his slider in the right spot. Maybe Jacob Junis, but I just don't buy it whatsoever. Not Chris. Well, actually, Chris Bass is inside the top 60. I take that back. Maybe Matthew Boyd. I want to make sure that slider is working and getting those whiffs. Tristan McKenzie, making sure that he's solidified and doing the right things despite having 2 tough matchups I don't want to start him against. Maybe Robbie Ray too. I'll throw that in there. He only had 1 start so far against the Yankees, and I hope that he can consistently throw good, confident strikes moving forward. But that's going to do it for today. Enjoy the fast pitch over the weekend. Alex does, of course, an amazing job with this on Saturdays and Sundays. You should be getting PL Plus if you don't have it already. Seriously, that Discord is the coolest thing ever. It is just all of us talking about baseball all of the time. And if you want to win a free month of PL Plus, well, when I do this podcast on Twitch, sometimes I do give away free months of PL Plus. So definitely join me 8:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday as I do this live. But that's going to do it for today. So my name is Nick Pollock, and that is everything you need to know. 2 edits, y'all. 2 edits. I almost had it. Choose outcome fewer than 3 edits. The doubters, you're blocking all the haters. Edits to X edits. That's amazing. Oh, I love that. All right, let me. Kendall Grayman. Sorry. In the 7th inning, including his 456-foot shot in the 7th inning. All right. For relievers from yesterday, also from Adam Howe, Kendall Gray to end, and David Price. And David Price got his first career. That was it. Oh, it was just the reliever stuff, man. I was so close. I was so close, everybody. I want to give away free Pitcher List Plus. All right. That's not the thing I wanted. I need to get it. The weather from Mark. Here we are. By the way, I should be setting this up too. Cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sharing this stuff, am I? I gotta do that. Hey, it's podcast edit time. Put your hater shades on. There you go. Nah, I'm just messing with all y'all. You guys are the best. And I really want to make this known. Like, if y'all, I think that the most important part about everything I do, and I hope that I've showcased this over the years, I love the discussion, and I know that I'm not infallible, right? Like, I make mistakes all the time. That's edit 3. No. Edits essentially means messing up inside the podcast recording. You get my bits. But no, I don't want anyone to feel like you can't express your opinion to me because it's different than the one I have. There have been multiple, so many times doing this where I've heard the other side of it, and the fact that I have a feeling of like I agree and I'm fighting against myself is illuminating for me. Like, Nick, yeah, you feel that way too. Like, let yourself feel that way and don't just stick to the same old thing, Like, I change my mind all the time. So I don't want you guys not to feel comfortable. Thanks, Mark. To express that stuff to me. So please do. All right, let's do this. So
somewhere in between. Have a good one.
Thanks, Mark. He's nailing it down, by the way. He's getting his routine of like, have a good one, like you got it, done. No, here is Mark with the weather.
Thanks, Nick.
No, I want it to be a little longer. Cool. How is my beginning and end?
What is happening? Welcome to the First Pitch Podcast.
Oh yeah, I always put on some stupid voice for that.
Pollock. And that is everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's normal. Okay. All right. Then we do, where are we? Oh, it's only 9:23. Cool, cool, cool. Let me pull this over. Right. Export this. Yeah. And by the way, I will stick around for a second, guys, to go over any start you want to watch together for a second. I know I did that yesterday, and I'm very happy to do that today. So let me know who you want to, like, together watch at least an inning with. Like, it can be a very specific inning. You know, just like, hey, let's just watch this thing from yesterday, or this game. Like, give me an inning. Like, no, this is the inning where it worked or it didn't work. Like, let's see, like, is that good or not together? You know? Okay, that's exported. So that means I can go here, and get this uploaded. Cool. All right, we're all set there. Oh, I forgot to add the artwork. Oh, now I gotta wait. Not as fast as I want to be, but all right, we're gonna move to the to this. I just gotta wait for it to be processing again. Then I forgot to add the. I gotta re-add the image, and then I'm all set with that. Do we have Dylan Cease? It is Dylan Cease. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, now I'm good here. All right, done. All right, so I'm gonna double check now the 1 for Paddock's 5th, Keller's first inning. Oh man, but we did this stuff yesterday. Love these streams. Oh, thanks so much, Troy. Urias's, that might be interesting. Dylan start has ceased to be a question mark. I am proud of you, Asher. I want you to know that. Urias's 6th inning is my vote. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm sorry, Fibbity Flab and Physics Man. I was live when those things were happening yesterday. This is the kind of punnery you get more on the PL Plus Discord too. It's very true. Trevor Rogers versus Acuna home run. I mean, that's just, you guys know that. That's a very good pitch he threw. And it's just like Acuna cheated on it. Urias, yeah, Urias sounds right. So we'll watch the 6th inning of that. I think that's a good call. But let me first, I got to get through this. Okay, so I know this is easily the worst part of this stream. I'm very aware of it, guys. Where it's like me writing the notes and all of that. And it's my appreciation for you that you guys stick around through it. Because if you aren't here, essentially, I need that feeling of, Nick, you can't procrastinate. Nick, you can't do other things. You have to get this done. Like, it's really fun doing the podcast. I enjoy that. Writing the notes after I rank them, I just want to be like, I ranked them. Whatever. You guys know it. It's cool. And that's not what I can do. It's not Matt Shoemaker. It's Lewis Thorpe. Which means this goes down here. Man, I got to change those notes. Oh, it's DeGrom. Right. DeGrom is going today. So I have to change those notes. Michael King is what I expected here. Montas. Eflin. Right, because that was also pushed back. That's not the right one. You're safe for another day, Batmore. Where was he yesterday? Where was he yesterday? I need to. These are all the wonderful articles that we're working on. This is the pictureless backend. Look at all that stuff. Oh no, I need to clone it. Did I not clone this already? I guess not. I hit clone. It's the greatest tool in the world. Like I can't tell you enough how important this is. Like to be able to clone an article. Wow, look at all that schedule. Look at that. All right. So I want to see, where did I have Eflin? Questionable. Oh, but that was against the Mets. I think he's a probable against the Cardinals though. Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure I'm consistent, guys. Coffee cakes. Weathers. Waka, Faulty, Mats. We want to see the pitch by pitch breakdown. Gotcha. Talk us through the notes. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk through this, and then I'm gonna have to. I'll try my best to say it out loud as I write it. That's a good. I'll do my best. Jacob deGrom is number 1, and y'all know that. Versus the Mets? Oh, I messed that up. Oh, I took the Chichi Gonzalez one. Oh, man. Okay, this is still Chichi, right? Yeah. So where was that, Colorado? It's this one. Whew. And then this one gets added in here. Where's that gonna go? I'll put them underneath this. And then Thorpe. This is interesting, Nick. How many games are going today? There's only 30. And you have 31. Oh no, I don't. Okay. All right. Where's Thorpe here? Thorpe would be down here. Louis Thorpe was a really cool dude, by the way. I don't know if you guys listened to that podcast we did with Louis Thorpe. I thought he was such a rad fella. And you just want him to succeed. He also, I love the fact that he called the like describing a two-seamer like pitching down the rails, like the train tracks. And I was like, oh man, I've never heard that before. That's really cool. We want to call his fastball the torpedo. And I want to make a shirt about it and send it to him. Yep, that's the case, and Kikuchi has done well. But yeah, the Houston right now is not the same Houston you know. I mean, Altuve's out, Bregman's out. Like, that's very different. So this is going to take a moment. It's going to say, like, wait. All right, well, it's going to do that here, and that's annoying. But, you know, it happens. Oh, yeah, we're down 2. Yeah, good point. Yeah. The DeGrom versus the Mets would be an infinite scoreless loop. Oh, man. Yeah, it would be like the cat and toast because... Yeah, well, right. He can't get the win is the only thing. I bet DeGrom will score on the rest of the Mets, yeah. Okay, so for these notes, Even though he's in Coors, he's still the #1 play because it's Jacob deGrom, and you guys know that. This is gone, which is annoying. Who should I replace this with? Yeah, he's not as good as like his fastball. Like we used to call him Mini Woodruff, and he's not quite there yet. All right, so that's fine. Now we're going to take this, which is tomorrow's pitchers. Throw them in here. Remove this stuff because we're done with you. We're looking to the future now. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Wait, hold on. Most of you get out of here, but I need the questionable start, probable start, do not start. And now we get rid of you. Looking to the future. Okay, so now we have 6 things that are missing. We got to fill that out. How much would that change if he was in Coors in August? DeGrom? I don't care. It's DeGrom. Do you consider the weather report from Mark when making these rankings? I don't. I should probably, but I don't. Because a lot of times, like, if it's going to be postponed or something like that, we know. But, I mean, I kind of don't even want to do that because, I mean, okay, so with the weather report, you could do 2 things, right? You can say, like, I think the start's going to be rained out, so I'm going to mention that, but I don't really want to do that. I think that's too much micromanaging of this. The second thing is like, oh, it's really cold or it's really hot or it's windy or something like that. I generally don't. I think that's a very messy and noisy thing to jump into when it comes to variables that affect starters. Sure, I'm not denying that, like, it can be really cold and that can affect a start. Trust me, I get it. I just don't know if it will for that specific pitcher. So it's really hard. Good to see you, Ramsey. But it's just not, something that I can really go after, So I don't really do it. Full speed ahead. Why would a 2-seamer be like pitching down the rails? Because these are the rails. That's 1 rail. That's 2. So you're pitching down the rails. Down the train tracks. I thought that was cool. Do you believe in using timer day, or is that too noisy also? Yep, I totally, no, not for me. When it comes to like home road splits too, it's the same idea. Like with any sample of things, let's say you have like 20, I don't know, 20 blue pens and 20 red pens, and then all of a sudden you throw them together and then you separate them into 2 groups just randomly. You're likely not going to have 50-50, right? It's actually rare to have 50-50 as opposed to something else. So that's just a random grouping where there's going to be the right side and the left side. And the right side, it's going to be more blue than red, and the other side is going to be more red than blue. And that's just a random grouping. But home and road make it such an obvious distinction, because like let's say you have 1 bad start along the way, that's going to be a sore thumb on either home or road. And now all of a sudden we say, oh, he's worse on the road than he is at home or something like that. And it's just like, well, no, you just took the starts and you grouped them into something. It's why we don't see this consistently. It's not something that always sticks out. There are some very, very rare exceptions. Like there was stuff with Teheran and I think Matt's at one point. And like, yeah, Coors, sure. But that's about it. So random, like, I don't touch home road splits. I don't touch day night things. It's fun statistical. Like, oh, he's really good in day games or something. Like, oh, that's just a weird thing. Cool. You know, it's not anything that I actually buy into. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I understand, Brett. Yeah, if you want more education on like pitch types and how they're thrown and everything like that, I know it's like self-promotion or whatever, but seriously, check out my PitchCon presentation from last year. Like, what was that? It was essentially, it was for PitchCon. It was a pitch conversation, but essentially, it's me talking about not only like what the grips are, but their movement, their velocity, and where the ideal locations for them generally are, so you can like watch and understand it better. What do you need? What do you need, Ramsey? I thought my pitching was solid, but now I'm super worried about Tyone, Luzardo, and Corbin. Do I hold all three? Well, okay. Making moves is always a relative thing. In my head, if it's June 1st and you're asking me, do you think Tyone, Corbin, and Luzardo are going to be worth starting? I'm going to tell you yes. I would be very shocked, honestly, if all three weren't worth starting. Yeah, what was that? Yeah, you can find it on our YouTube channel. We have all of the panels from this year and last year. So it's youtube.com/pitcherlist. By the way, all of these streams are up on as well if you missed them. Later on, you can watch them on YouTube. But anyway, so it's a case of Tyone, I think in like 2 weeks will be completely fine. We'll be like, you'll be really happy with Tyone. Luzardo is a little bit concerning, but again, it's about who you're replacing with. You know, and don't just remove them for the sake of getting something new and different. You know, think of it like, okay, with Corbin, you maybe want to sit him for the next start. Don't just drop him now. You know, I'm seeing so many victory laps about it right now, and it's like, guys, like, let's not. Like, yes, this was terrible, and I regret it, but from this moment on, do we truly believe that Corbin's going to allow 9 earned runs every start? No. Do we think that he's going to be a 5 earned run guy consistently? No. You know, it's the worst case scenario is that he turns into like Jose Quintana. You know what I mean? And even Jose Quintana can give you a PQS, right? A poor quality start. But this is like Jose Quintana, who can also strike out like 25% to 30% guys. Like, why would you? Yeah, I don't know. I hope I'm not sounding crazy with that stuff. Oh, awesome, Felix. Yeah, there it is. There's a link in the comments, guys, for what was that? A pitch conversation. I had a lot shorter hair. I'd shaved it because you guys were the best and voted us to win that podcast tournament. I mean, yeah, you can only get better from here. Exactly, Cash. I love that. No problem, Ramsey. But yeah, it stinks right now, but like, it's very much in your best interest to hold on to all of those because it's just a very worthy investment at this point. Okay, I'm going to move on to actually doing the work again because I'm procrastinating, but it's a fun procrastination. This is why we do this, right? So Red Sox, it's what? Sorry. It's Tanner Hawk? Wait, why? Who is he replacing? Eduardo Rodriguez, Martin Perez, Eovaldi, Pivetta. Who is he? That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Tanner Hawk. Like, okay, Twitter, tell me things. No, Tanner, what's going on? Yeah, Garrett Richards. Right, that would be it. But why would Tanner Hawk go tomorrow? Did they just have a double header and they need, is that it? It's the double header, isn't it? Yeah, thank you so much for a tree. Okay. Right. Forgot about the double header. No, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Thank you. Same reason Lewis Thorpe. Right. I knew, okay. Get rid of that. I was freaking out. But yeah, right. Chicago White Sox, guys. I'm a little weird. It'll be a questionable. Who is it for the Pads? That's this is gonna be you, Darvish. Tampa Bay is Tyler Glasnow. I can't miss that one. That's okay. This is gonna be a legit, like, I think this is gonna be a test. I know the Yankees have been cold and stuff, but keep in mind, Glasnow has faced the Marlins, the Rangers, and I don't even remember the second one, but it wasn't like an overwhelming. Oh no, he faced the Red Sox. Fine. But I still feel this is like, okay, so you're starting to get some tougher stuff here. Yeah, I'm still going to be, well, I'm going to be excited just to be like, hey, can he like force himself into the rotation? Not to mention that is another option they're cooking through. So, wait, no, Orioles. And then Phillies is who? Right, Matt Moore. Orioles and Cubs. Hey, it's Dean Kramer. Trevor Williams. Is it going to be TLs? Probably. So, auto starts. And do not starts. No, that's going to be a probable as much as I don't want it to be. Chris Flexen is a do not start. Quintana, do not start. Marquez hosting. Oh, my God. This should be a do not start, right? But I'm going to put questionable. This is a do not start. This is a questionable. That's a probable. Yeah, auto start. This is a questionable. I'll put this as a probable because this is still ill. This is a questionable. This is a do not. I'll do that. Even though it's a Padres, I don't care. This is a... I put this as a questionable yesterday, and I want to be consistent with that. This is a probable. This is a questionable. This is a questionable. This is a questionable. This is a probable. This is a questionable. This is a questionable. This is a probable. I know you guys are gonna hate me for that. This is a dumb. This is a do not. This is a do not. This is an auto, and this is a questionable. Ta-da! And this is a questionable. Okay. So who's the best probable start here? I'm gonna say it's Sonny Gray. Then it's Greinke. Then it's Huascar, and then this, and then this. Questionable. So many. Oh man. Yeah, Dunning against Baltimore is like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. This seems pretty good. Why am I getting a text right now? Aw. Oh man. Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to watching that race with you guys. Let's figure this out. Who is the best of these? Or actually, no, I'll say the worst. I'll go from the bottom. Let's say it's this and this. This probably should be down here. This should be here. This should be here. After being so good against the Padres. I mean, these are all very, like, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. I'd prefer Cahill. Here. Let's say Casey Mize. Put Kramer, even though it's the Rangers, like, he wasn't good. He was in a groove, but it's weird. I think I would do this. I know it's kind of crazy, but it's questionable. I'm just leaning off the question. I would do this. I think I do this. Let's go here. Yeah, this seems right. Okay. And then of these, who do I like the most? Oof. Let's go here. Is the depleted Houston team. And then we'll go Arizona and then this. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay. As far as auto starts go, there we go. All right. If you guys don't see any problem with this, what questions do you have right now or forever hold your peace? Give you guys 2 seconds to just tell me where you disagree here so that we can maybe adjust this. You've seen it before that I do adjust. If you guys point out something that I can feel myself, I don't know, feeling differently about. So this is streaming rankings for tomorrow. Anything that seems egregious to you that you would change, please tell me now. As I finish up my coffee. On the pitch list store. Sanchez up. Why? Okay, so Tristan a few spots too low, but I understand the trepidation. I think you're right about Tristan, actually. Yeah, I think I can move up Tristan. Oh, I love this. All right, see, guys, you should be telling me this the entire way through. Okay, so I am going to do this. At the very least. Washington doesn't scare me as much. I'm going to do that. Sanchez is to, what was it? To more love. Cahill just dominated the Padres. Kim, yeah, all right, I can put him above Kim because it is still ill in this way. I'm fine with this. Mize just had his best start. Marquez is still a good talent, even though it's the Coors and Mets, and I'm really like, don't do this, but whatever. You have no idea how Sanchez is going to do. Miami isn't scary, sure, but that's very true. But Sanchez's talent is like nothing like it used to be. You know, I really got to emphasize that. His fastball is like 90-91. Very scary. Yeah, Miami just gave Ian Anderson a tough time yesterday, for what it's worth. Singer versus Toronto is going to get rocked. Singer did look better in the last one. It is questionable. By the way, all of these, I am like not happy starting. Singer against Toronto. Yeah. I think I can do Matt Shoemaker over Singer. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't know if Luke Weaver's going to do things. Dallas Keuchel hasn't been himself. He's getting Boston. Tanner Houck, like, I like him. Chicago White Sox, good team. It's also in Kaufman as opposed to in Dunedin. I am going to recognize that there's some situations that people are like, I want to see a start from Zach Greinke. You know, I'm not gonna do it, but I feel like it's not necessarily like people are like, hey, he hasn't really been that great. So I'm gonna be like, all right, that's fine. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna understand that. Probable start is still me starting them. It's just like I recognize that's not the same tier as the auto start. That's gonna be such a good game. I don't think that one was fully announced yet, So I don't think that was the game of the day, but it would have been. Kim's first start is still ill, but I recognize he can probably go 5 innings and survive. Wasker Inoa is too high. The Cubs are terrible. I would say there's like another little mini tier, like Gray and Greinke are definitely better than Inoa and Montgomery and Dunning, but it doesn't really matter. It's just that there aren't other guys to put up. But the Cubs are bad. Inoa's in an amazing place right now. But I am gonna do this, and I'll even do this. I appreciate you all. Yeah. No, I don't like. And fine. I'll do this because of y'all. This is for you. This is because I respect all of you. Okay. We're gonna move forward with that. And I'm going to assume that Dane Dunning is the one I can list as a streamer. Inoa is rostered, man. Inoa is not sub 20% as much as you want him to be. No. Let's see. Oh, they don't even have him in Fantasy Pros. Oh, come on. Oh, there he is. 41%. 41%. Not great, Bob. Tough to find the difference from Mitch. Yeah, that's exactly it. No. These are my rankings, but they're ones that, like, if I disagree, I will continue them, you know? And I'm like, all right, I'll flip-flop Sanchez and Cahill. I don't care about that one. That's fine. Yeah. Sanchez has, oh, you guys can't see. I'm sorry. It's Miami. Over here. Sanchez, as far as, Sanchez isn't even on this list for some reason. Why can't I find Aaron Sanchez? %3 rostered, so he might be it, but I don't think so. I would say, oh my God, is it gonna be Hawk again? Dean Dunning's at 21. You guys gonna allow me to do 21%? Oh yeah, the young man in the sea, that was a really good one. You guys gonna let me do Dane Dunning at 21%? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do that and call it a day. I'm taking 21%, okay? Thank you. All right, so now it's time for the best part of the stream. Very best part. 18% on ESPN. Beautiful. We got a... I think I remember which one it is. I think it's the Minaya one. It's this one. Yeah. Yeah, huge shout out to Quincy Dong for all of these streamer graphics. I think they are so amazingly sexy. Like, look at that. Ah, it's so good. Like, I love this style and like the fine. It just I love it. Okay, 16, 17. That's right. So hey guys, it's the best part. We all know this. I'll make this smaller so you guys can read what I write. It's the notes. It's time for the notes. Nice sub-average team OPS. Well, that's no surprise. I mean, Miami's in tier 5 for me. You know, as far as like offenses to stream against, that's tier 5. I Sorry, I'm seeing all these fun tweets. Okay. That's not right. Oh, I replaced the wrong one. Okay, I can do this pretty easily. No, I gotta go back. Okay, good. Did I go back too far? Because now it's freezing on me. Does it have, nope. You gotta add that and that. Okay. Nope. Cool. Now we're here. Oh, I did the wrong table. Yep, Control Z, man. It's a wonderful thing. This I think needs to get updated too now. Then yeah. Oh yeah, look at that error. Oof. Okay, let's write some notes, huh? Let's write some wonderful, wonderful notes. Take us. This is not what I want to do at all. No, go away. This doesn't matter. Yeah, this can go away. I have too many tabs. I'm a tabaholic, guys. And what is this? All right, so let's so the rule is what? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we gotta get 14 hits. All the greatest hits. Think Smiley messes back? Absolutely. The Cubs are bad. Cubs are bad. I think people are kind of overreacting to like the last outing against Philly from Smiley. I don't know. It wasn't his best, but like this is something I really have to emphasize a lot. Is it's so easy. It's so easy just to see this really ultra small sample in April and to all of a sudden think like this is only what he does. Because it's, you know, just think of yourself like if this start happened in July, am I going to react this strongly to it? You know? Drew's turn against the Cubs will leave you smiling. Yeah, I'm guarantee you I've done Smiley like you mean it as an SP Roundup headline without a doubt. You know, I'm all here for the smiley emojis. Okay, but all I'm getting out about like freaking out about a guy like Smiley, like if the skills haven't changed and he just doesn't have the right start that time, then like you just shrug and you keep moving. You know, unless there's something egregious, then you just, you know, you keep doing the thing. You're not going to lose your season in April. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you gotta label Tyler Glass now, right? Main question for the full season. Right now. I would say middling Giants lineup, right? Like if they're not, sure they surprise. I'll just say against the Giants. There was debate in the Twitch chat. Nope. I'm so used to doing that. Yes, you're getting a shout out about this. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, Farrell. Farrell? Ferrol? Ferrol? I'm gonna say Farrell. I'm just gonna say Farrell. Yeah, I'm starting because it's Cleveland, guys. I love the phrase letting him fly. It's just wonderful. And I'm going to express this. You guys were talking about Oscar Ynoa, and that might be high. Belonging in the second tier. With momentum on his side with his fastball and slider. Is that the right phrase I want? While in rhythm with his... Yeah, that's better. I mean, if you guys have Jordan Montgomery, I know some people are going to be upset about Jordan Montgomery and be like, he didn't do so well last time. How could you still say he's a probably star? I'm like, because I don't know. I still trust the skills. Think about it this way, guys. I think we forget sight of this. Like, if a guy's a 3.6 ERA for the season, we're like, yeah, he was great. You know what that means? It means that's a lot of starts of like 3 and 4 earned runs mixed with starts of 1 and 2 earned runs. Like, you combine those, and that creates a 3.6 ERA. So, you know, I keep that in mind a lot. I try to. If they avoid all the 4 and run stuff, that's actually how you get a sub 3 ERA or an ERA hovering 3, is you avoid games more than 3 earned runs. So that when you have, you know, a really good one, it doesn't get counteracted. There was a really good discussion about this, I think. I don't remember who brought it up, and it wasn't me. I'll just at least say that. Where there are essentially 3 buckets. Like, you're going to have, like, a third of your starts are going to be really good, and a third of your starts are going to be kind of bad. It's all about the middle ones, you know? And the more that you can, like, with the middle stuff, like, are you going to be leaning more on the good side or on the bad side with the other, I guess, 10 starts or so, you know? It's an interesting way of putting it, but yeah, you expect every single pitcher who's in the majors are going to have good starts at some point. Every pitcher is also going to have bad starts at some point. You know, some guys are going to have them in April. Some guys are going to have them in August. You know, this is the way of things. And we have to keep this in mind so much. I know I just ramble about these things all the time, but it's very important, I think. All right, I'm going to keep finishing up the notes. Okay. Streaming pick of the day. I don't really love that I put him in probable, but that's fine. I'm just gonna. For the next week, would I start 2 starts Stroman or 1 start of those 3? Probably 2 starts Stroman. 2 starts are like I'll say this. 2 starts of Stroman equals more strikeouts than all 3 of those guys. Higher chances of at least 1 win. And is the ERA whip going to be that much worse? It's probably going to be a little touch worse, but I think it's evened out by the strikeout and win increase. So I'd rather go the 2 starts. Stroman. Oh, which of those 3 would I sub out? I don't know who all 3 are facing. Do you know? Can you put that in the chat? Who the matchups are for each one? Yeah, Bumgarner may not. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, if he doesn't, then he's removed from the majors. That's the thing, flippity flap. Like, if they're still pitching, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'd say Morton is the odd man out there, given the tough matchup. Good call, Asher. Okay. Former employer. I never even thought about that. Good luck, CSW nerd. I hope that works out. The slider is good enough to return strikeouts. I mean, is the White Sox. There is a sizable floor. There is a creaky floor. Who else do we want to talk about? Will. Needed Cool. Let's add in some. And I know it's shocking to see Trevor Cahill in the third tier, but after dominating Padres, there's a chance he can continue. The magic hasn't faded. Nope. There's a chance. Come on. The sparkle has. Oh, man. There's a chance his magic lasts through Milwaukee. And then who else do I want to end this with? Maybe that's not how you spell mediocre. Okay, that's fine. And then lastly, we have the bottom tier. Trevor Williams, otherwise known as TLs. I'm not going to write that. Trevor Chill. Oh, that's funny. Thank you so much. Can I just call him Trevor Chill? That's pretty great, though. Trevor Chill. That's so good. Trevor Williams. And then hey, maybe, oops. There you go. All right. I think we're all set here. We got what? 1, 2. After being his best self, let's find 1. Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. We're going to publish this at 10:40. And we are all set here. All right. So now, that's out of the way. That's the worst part. We're done. We're done with the notes. Whew, I hate writing notes. Thank you guys so much for enduring that. We get to have our fun now. And we get to watch some Julio Urias from yesterday. So we're going to do this, 04, 15, 2021, and we're also going to do the 6th inning only. Then we're going to do the oldest. Okay. So we're going to watch his 6th inning
who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Okay, so I do not want you guys to hear that. I don't want to get like DMCA'd or something for like the audio. All right, here we go. That's a really good pitch. First pitch, 6th inning. You've got Tapia up. I believe that's it was at the leading off, like resetting a lineup, and you see first pitch curveball. Beautiful. That works. Good stuff. I hate this error. I hate this bug so much. That's really nice. You gonna give him the strike? Yeah. Look at this. He's cruising. Yeah, it's 3-2, but you know, this is great. That's a really good pitch. 0-2. I mean, everything looks great right now. You know? What? Smiley's been scratched? He's on the IL? I gotta change this now then. Really? What happened? Oh man, left forearm inflammation? You gotta be kidding. Oh, that stinks for Smiley. Ugh. No, it's okay. I very much appreciate this because I gotta edit this. So, hold on. I gotta like... I gotta Control Z the... Oh man, hold on. How am I gonna do this? Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Alright. So I gotta go all the way back to the previous table before I deleted everything. Okay. Copy this. And then Control Y all the way through to the end. Because I want to have the table for tomorrow. Cool. Now I have to replace Drew Smiley with Keller Wright. And where does he go? Keller Wright goes in the do not start. Whoops. All right, I'm messing this up completely right now. How did I just mess this up? Oh, okay. Oh my God. Is he 30? No. He's probably like 22, I'd say. All right. I just gotta redo this table maker quickly. Oh, and I didn't do that. This is probably gonna say today's instead of tomorrow's. Oh no, it's not. Oh, wow. I'm kind of shocked. I have no idea how that happened. Because I did not edit it. Streamer was who? Who was the streamer? Anthony Escafani. And then we're all set here. Okay. Generate HTML. Stick it into the article. Did I mention Smiley in the notes? That's the wrong one. Dylan Cease. Let's go Fani. Eflin. I don't think I did. Aw. So I can do this. This is fine. Okay. Cool. Thank you guys so much for that. You guys are the best. I very much appreciate that. I mean, you just made that article better, you know? So here we are. So it's still a 6th. Oh, no, this is the bug, which is really dumb. This is literally the video I just watched. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's a strike. They didn't give it to him. That was not, honestly, this is not that terrible of a pitch. Like, this is away. Sure, I don't really like that it's middle and this is normally like up or down. But there are worse pitches thrown, you know? Hey, thanks so much for the follow, Kev Berg. All right, so he's a double. All right. So here comes Crone. Now, before I even see what this pitch is, I don't know what it is. I don't think it says anywhere. When you see a big bat, so Crone, not like your slap hitter or something like that. He is a big bat with a man on second. I would say about 85% of the time, you're seeing a secondary pitch, likely a breaking ball. It's just kind of the rule of thumb is generally you think the batter is going to be aggressive and the batter is going to try to quickly get in the runner from second. So he's excited and he's going to be jumping out of his shoes to hit a fastball. So you throw a breaking ball. So I wouldn't be shocked if you see like a breaker for a strike here. And there you go. Okay, that's just the rule of thumb. That's just expected every time. So we're gonna get a swing strike somehow here. Fastball? Yep. Nice. And you can see how late he was on that. And that first pitch sets up that. So now he's like on his toes. He's like, okay, I don't know what it's gonna look like. So you have him 0-2. I would probably throw a changeup away, honestly. See, I don't love that pitch call because I mean I like the idea of it. Don't get me wrong, a high fastball and everything like that. And you just saw that Crone swung through it, but I think you got there are two interpretations of that swing strike from CJ Crone. One is, he's not looking for the fastball; he's looking for secondary stuff, which honestly I don't think is the case in CJ Crone. But I think really it's two. You got the swing and the miss because you had the good breaker first. And you only get that once. You don't get that twice. So it's not like the swing and miss or like a foul ball, if I've talked about before, like Bryce Harper. It's not something where he's making the decision. I'm going to go for the breaking stuff. I'm going to go for the heat. I think that was like CJ Cron's like, I'm going for the heat. Oh, I just missed that one. Okay, fine. All right. Be prepared for it now. That's what his mentality is. So he saw that fastball up and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to go for that. I'm ready for this one. And I think a changeup down would have been better because now he is going to be looking for the heater and you can beat him on that. So now it's going to be 1-2 and you just kind of showed your hand with this. And I think it's really obvious now that 1-2, he's going to go away from the heat and now is going to do either a changeup or a breaking ball. So if I'm Crone, I'm not looking for a fastball. I'm looking for a slow ball here. And he did. Oh, my God. Urias got squeezed. He executed that. Oh, man. That's multiple times this inning he got squeezed. This is a fantastic changeup. Look at this. This is exactly what we wanted to do. Look at that. Oh. And like, in Crone, I mean, he got beat on it. He thought maybe it was going to go out of the zone, and he got the ball, I guess. But, man. Oh, so he gets a single. I don't know why, though. Okay, so now, wait, hold on. So now it's 2-2. You just didn't get the call. It looks like you're going high heater, which is right. Like, I would throw the changeup again, honestly. Like, dude, you just execute the one. Throw it again. Make the umpire get the call right. And you think, like, that pitch wasn't called it. It's like, normally you expect the seesaw. And actually the highest whiff pitches are when you repeat, especially with secondary stuff. Not necessarily fastball, but when you repeat secondary stuff. So Often batters are like, if I see a breaking pitch and it goes for a ball and it doesn't work, that means I've earned the heater. I'm going to get it now. See, oh yeah, the breaking ball, whatever. I'm going to focus on that fastball now because you can't throw that for a strike. Double up on it, and they're going the heater. Oh, and he misses it down, and yeah, Crone just hits that. Yeah, that's annoying. That's really annoying. I hate that in bat. I hate it. Urias got the strikeout, and they got too cute with the pitch calling. Good job by Crone, at least, like, taking advantage of that mistake. That's supposed to be up. It's down, and yeah. Yeah, taking advantage is right. No, he didn't. That's not the same pitch in the same spot. I'm sorry, I'm listening to the announcers. No, it's not. That's not the changeup. That's the heater. And it shouldn't have, that just shouldn't have been it. Yeah, don't like it. All right, we're going to go on to the next one. Okay, so now it's man on first. You just get a fastball in there. Yeah, you got it. Foul ball. Sweet. Honestly, him fouling that off like that and you just hit your spot, you throw it again. Throw it a second time. Oh, he's getting cute. No, you don't need to do that. Just pump another fastball in there. Make him beat you. So after you do that, yeah, it's going to be another fastball. I guarantee it's a fastball here. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm shocked at that pitch call. All right, you threw a changeup. I guess it worked, but like he shouldn't have done that. Like that was not a good pitch. I'm amazed. So now, I mean, now you got him being a changeup away here. Fouled this off. Like, I mean, you throw a fastball inside, yo. That's what you do. I mean, you could throw a breaking ball down if you want to get cute, but no, just throw a fastball inside. You got a really good fastball, Urias. Oh, that's the bug again. Stop this. Now it's gonna cut to the stupid thing. Oh God. This is really frustrating. There we go. Okay. So good. They're going fastball in. That's exactly right. Good, 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 good. Oh, and he left it out over here. Oh, man. Look at this. So I will mention this. Like, this is out over here, right? And imagine with this swing plane, he's got his arms extended and everything like that. He did adjust to it. But just think for a moment about his timing. Like, look at this bat plane right now. I'm going to actually make this larger if I can for you guys. So that I can really emphasize this with y'all. I hope that's better. Yeah, okay, this is fine, right? You can see the bat plane here and how it's angled out. And, like, if you got it in here, though, that's off the handle. But now it's off the barrel. And yeah, theoretically, he could have pulled his hands in. That's really hard to do. But just look at the timing. The timing makes this work. And he rips it over. Ugh. Bat, yeah, that's, you know, you hit the fastball command before, and I'm upset that you didn't hit it a second time. Fuentes was like, yeah, I got this. And I'm like, dude, it was a mistake. Okay, so now, what's the rule? Man on second, one out, kind of big hitter. What do you throw? It's a breaking ball. Oh, he threw a fastball right down the middle. Look at that. Oh, Diaz, dude, how do you miss that? You got away with one, Urias. I'm really shocked at that. I'm really, really shocked. Maybe he was looking, the secondary pitch was still like, okay, fastball again. You just beat him on it. Oh, no. Oh, it's a changeup away. Like, sorry. How is this different than the Crone swing and a miss one? That's a good question. I think fastball in still. You're supposed to be looking for fastball there, and he didn't get it, and like he missed it then. I think you didn't have the first pitch to tell you, so I think you go fastball back in. Harder to get the barrel up and in, exactly. Flippity flab. So I mean, I can see the result of that changeup. Oh, now they're gonna show it because of the bug. Oh yeah, you can totally miss that. That's not supposed to be what it is. It looks like he threw a fastball down the middle again. And if Diaz is fouling this off too, what an annoying bug. If Diaz, like, look at this. And Diaz is fouling off a pitch down the middle. That's twice. Twice. This is middle heat. Bad fastball command. I mean, we've seen multiple instances of bad fastball command in this inning from Urias, which is not typical, by the way. You gotta not do that. Like, Diaz, buddy, come on. That's the only reason why you're like a hitter. If you can't hit that, then what's going on? So, I mean, I'm seeing Diaz struggle on that, but at the same time, Urias is also struggling with his fastball command. So it's a question of, can you throw a breaker for a strike? Like, that would work right now. Just flip a curveball in there, I think. Or you go up and in with a heater. It's up to you. What do you feel better about? Oh my God. All right. They went with a breaker, which is fine, but like, you win some, you lose some. You didn't deserve this whatsoever, Urias, but you got the strikeout. Like, the one against the first hit of the inning, was that Tapia? No, not Tapia. McMahon. That was just, unlucky. CJ Crone, you messed up a bit and you got punished for it. This is just not. That's just bad. You got punished on the other one too. No, Crone had the second one. So here we are. So what's the rule? Man on second, you throw a breaking ball. Went with a fastball again, and look, he's looking for it, and what do you know? It was a hit. This is why that's a rule. This is why that's a rule. Oh no, you can't be serious. All right. I mean, that's okay. Major takeaways right now. One, not super happy with the pitch calling, but whatever. I mean, I'm an armchair manager. They have way different things, and fine. But I'm going to complain because it's really fun, and I have my philosophies. I'm going to say them. The second thing is fastball command is a skill of Julio Urias. I mean, this is something that Eno and I share a lot. We really like Urias's fastball. We think it's top tier, or pretty much top tier fastball command. Uncharacteristic. That's not typical. Like, Urias leans on that to get out of situations. It was not there. Breaking ball and changeup also falling too far onside. He was not able to really, maybe we saw one in there. The one to Crone, I think, was the best one I saw that inning. But the one he struck out, Diaz on no. The bounced one or two, and I think it dictated his pitch choices a little bit. Changeups were not looking good either. Keeping that up and away, like, that's supposed to be down. He had a really nice one that was supposed to be strike three to Crone, didn't get it. I think this is an anomaly start. Like, it's hard not to see this and be like, yeah, this is. It's not who Urias is, I can take one more, guys. If there's anyone else you want me to watch right now, I enjoy this. This is I think this is the most fun thing that I get to do. I like doing this. I might try to make like a good hour every single week or something like that. That's generally the goal for Thursdays anyway, but I might make it like a more consistent thing, like once a day, because I think this is the most fun thing, talking about this stuff and judging people. Ontivero, it's coming out in 2 minutes, but Kyle Wright is in the do not start category, right under Dylan Cease at 22. Do you want to watch Corbin? Oh, yes, let's watch Corbin. Let's absolutely watch Corbin. Great call. And you know what? Maybe I'll change my tune to this. I'm really happy you brought that up. Okay, so only the second inning. So what is the score here? okay, so he already allowed 3 earned runs in the first. So before we even begin, I want to establish what Corbin's game plan generally is. He threw changeups yesterday, which is wild. But for the most part, Patrick Corbin establishes fastballs inside or down and away from right-handers. Okay? He's very much about playing off the edge to left-handers as well. So, like, he needs to hit inside edge, establish that, and then fall his slider off of it. That is prime Corbin. Also, he will, once he starts establishing inside, he will then go away with fastballs and then keep them off balance there. He's not much of an up-down guy. He does go up and in, but he isn't someone necessarily like 0-2. Like, his thing is not going a high fastball. It's like establishing inside. It's a Clayton Kershaw method, honestly. Establish the fastball inside and then play the slider off of it. What separates him and Corbin is the curveball they can throw for strikes too. But anyway, okay. So that's what we're going to look for here. Good. First pitch curveball. Sure. Fine. That's fine. Oh my God. Stop being buggy. Oh my Lord. What was that? I think that was a changeup that like was an atrocity. Look at this thing. He's like even like slow pitched it. Like, what was that, Corbin? And this is terrible luck. No, you didn't. Oh, okay. This is supposed to be a play, actually. Corbin with his glove, you're supposed to scoop this out. You're not supposed to flick with your left. You're supposed to push with your glove. And actually, I think he might have had it if he pushed. Maybe. Very close. Wow, look at that. Wait. Was that a trash bag? Can you see this? I'm going to get rid of the chat box for a second. Can you see this trash bag getting involved here? Look at this. What are the odds? Also, the time that he slides. Oh, man. All right. Sorry. Anyway, so that's bad luck. But, I mean, that's a terrible pitch, but should have just been a ball. Why are we looking at this? They have this cataloged? Oh, my God. All right. So now, Carson Kelly, you want to establish that fastball in. He might go his fastball away. Man, so that's a changeup. He's slide stepping. That's a really good changeup. That takes a lot of patience. I mean, first pitch, you might want to get it more in the zone, but dang, that's really good. Just didn't get the call. Sometimes you do. That's a good pitch. Another pickoff attempt. Great. Wonderful. Okay. So after this changeup here, you might want to spot a fastball there. Or inside. He tries to, and he tugs it too far. I want to look at these mechanics for a second. Yeah. Okay. So I will say this. Corbin doesn't look like it's max effort right now. He just look a little lagging. But fine. Okay. So 2-0. You're behind now, which stinks. You gotta get something here. So either whatever you trust. I feel like it's gonna be a slider. Yeah. But you can kind of see how he came across on the side of this. I don't know if like the release of this kind of looked like he wasn't all forward on it, and it felt like it was just came out of the hand wrong. Yeah. He's pulling this way, but his arm is still going that way. You know? Let's get the chat box back. There we go. Yeah, it might be that. CSW nerd. Oh, good. Another pickoff attempt. I'm so happy. And now, okay, so now 3-0 just get a fastball in there. Oh, my God, stop this. Oh, yeah, so you did. You got a fastball up. Sure. And he's going to walk him. Oh, man, it's so close. It's not a good frame. Honestly, like at 3-1, 3-1, you might get that frame. You know, I guess it wasn't where they were aiming, like where they were intending. But no, it was. Look at this. Yeah, it's not going to get the call. I mean, maybe, but yeah, this frame is just not very good. You know, too far. He's pulling all the way up. I think he could have done a better job there. But I mean, that's really close, and he just didn't have that. Okay, fine. So now, you guys know the rule. It's going to be a breaking ball. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Good fastball, by the way. 91 up, sure. Good to start it off with that. I'm surprised it wasn't a breaking ball. He doesn't really throw a cutter. What are you talking about? He doesn't throw a cutter. Okay, so now 0-1. Honestly, this is when Prime Corbin throws the slider here. But he's probably going to go like changeup or something because this is weird for Corbin. No, Prime. Oh, but he pulled the slider. There's something going on. Like Corbin is just misaligned right now. You know, I think there's just timing issues. It's not who Corbin is. So now at 1-1, like what do you throw? I wouldn't have faith that I can throw that fastball inside. I mean, I would just honestly throw a slider and just hope for the best. Yeah. Oh my God. What? What? Are you serious? Like that's what you get beat on? Is this a changeup? Oh my. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? How did this? This is amazing. I mean, this is like, I think that's even a slider. I think that's a slider that's coming back over. You can kind of see how he's not expecting, like, the way he's setting up, especially for like this suggests he's ready to block, like the way that I don't know who's catching. But he's preparing himself. Anytime you see this kind of squat where the butt is higher up and not lower, means he's ready for his, like, essentially he's ready to come down like this to block it, right? If he's lower, he's not going to do that. But if he's staying up, he's ready to come down. So that tells me that it's supposed to be a slider down here that he's going to block, which wouldn't be a changeup. He wouldn't be like this if it were a changeup. So I can't tell because of the camera angle, but that's a slider that comes down, and there's no, like, Escobar should not even be swinging at this, and let alone now that he's beat, you should not be hitting it. And then if you do hit it, you should not be able to get a single off of it. Unbelievable. Jan Gomes, thank you so much. Wow. Like, what? What? That's ridiculous. But I will say, I mean, Corbin does not look good. Corbin, there's something innately wrong with Corbin right now. So, yeah. I just want to mention that. All right, that works. That's fine. Like, as long as he's getting, like, the inner third with a fastball. Good. Good. This is good. Now you throw the slider there. Can you do it? Throw the slider there. Yes. See, that's prime Corbin. That is prime Patrick Corbin. Right there. Fastball, fastball inside, slider underneath it. So do it again. Good. You got the call. Sweet. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. They said FC? And you've got to be joking me. So like, okay, so he's trying to do the same thing again. You got the fastball down. Now you go the slider in. And he brings it up. It comes down. he thinks it's going to be there. You got him beat. Look at this. Butt is out. He's not ready for this. The timing is so off. And I cannot believe this. That's the end of the bat. This should be 2. No. That's a double play. You're out of the inning. Oh my God. I think what happened is that this was so off the end of the bat that the ball was spinning in this super weird way. He wasn't ready for this, but that's a double play. So Corbin washed. Oh man. By the way, Schwebzy was the one who came up with Corbin burned. I told it to Justin, and Justin says, and that's why you're the best. And I was like, nope, that was Schwebzy. Just so you know, Schwebs, so you're the best from Justin. But yeah, there you go, guys. Like already, what is this? What is this? I need to do my own version of this laugh out loud thing, don't I? As an emote. Oh no, I have no idea. I gotta figure that out. Okay. Bad fastball away. Fine. Let's see. That's a good fastball. He got the call on it. Okay. So that's kind of how Corbin works against lefties. Establishes the same thing, really. Just, now it's away instead of inside, right? Play your slider off of that. He's not had his feel for his slider whatsoever, though. Oh, man, no, throw the slider now. Throw the slider. Don't, no. Now it's 2-1. Now you might get yourself in a bad situation if you don't execute the slider. Oof, oh, man. Who is Pavin Smith? Maybe that's why he's doing this stuff, because he's like, whatever. Throw the slider. Thank you. Oh, that's a really good one. I got to say, that's a good one. It does feel loopier than I've seen in the past. This might honestly, like, I'm not going to shy away from this. He might just not have a slider that he used to have in 2019. That might be everything here. That's scary. Oh, no. Did you really just walk him? Why are they saying 2-2? Bally's, come on. Get it together. It's 3-2. Yeah, well, oh my God. Ugh. Man, I'm actually really surprised that they didn't call that an error. Like, that's a double play ball. Oh, I think they did, didn't they? It was 10 runs and 9 earned. Wow, so he allows the rest of this without getting his second out. Oh. Man, who are these players? I don't even know who they are. So, okay, that's the general rule, right? Bases low, man on scoring position, you're supposed to throw the breaking stuff. But, yeah, Corbin can't do it. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see if I can do that. Great call. Man, it's been too long. Okay. No, I just want to see pitch types. Not pitch percentage, average spin rate. Yeah, so this is the slider we know. 2400, 22, 22. That's significant. That's 200 down. What's the velocity? Yeah. It's coming in soft there as well. No. Vertical break. This is fine. This is fine. This looks drastic, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, they have to also, well, this is kind of a big deal. I think the spin is the bigger thing. This is interesting. Good call here. Something to think about. Oh, you guys can't really see it. You can see that he's going down 200. So it's like 2241 and then 2193. So really 200 from 2019, which really matters. Well, this is RPMs on the slider. Yeah, oh, that's what maybe you do this. Yeah, just so you can see Corbin, I'm triggered. Well, we're gonna finish this up here. We're gonna see the rest of the game. Put the RPMs in context. I mean, generally, I don't talk about RPMs because RPMs are. I think it's all relative to the pitcher as opposed to as a whole. Essentially, once a pitcher has a certain pitch, we just kind of get a mental note of, cool, he's doing this with this RPM. The more spin generally indicates more movement. And if you are getting less spin on it, that means you're generally getting less velocity, which means you're just, it all just is in tandem of like less effective. At the same time, you can have like the Worthen slider of Jacob deGrom, and that's like way sub 2000 RPM. And there are different ways to get movement and everything on sliders. But generally, when you see a drop in RPM by like 200, that's a very significant amount. If it's like 100 or 50 or so, it's like, okay, 200, yeah, that makes more sense. I think that's the best I can do for you guys when it comes to RPMs in context. So it's not necessarily about that it's 2400 or now 22. It's more that this is a 200 difference. And by the way, this is, you guys should be using this. And I'm happy that you just made me do this. And of course, Matthew Boyd. Let's look at Matthew Boyd really quickly, actually, because this is what fun things are. That's funny. That's not. Well, I guess the curve. Yeah, I understand a fastball and a curve. But I actually am curious what the RPM is on this. Yeah, so he's chilling at the 24. Oh, it's good to see that's still up there. It's just not commanding it well. But this is a pitch that we've always compared to Corbin's, right? And that's at 24. Huh, interesting. Anyway, okay. I hope that helps. Let's just finish this terrible ending, okay? I mean, we probably have a lot more, my lord. Okay. Good. Got the fastball down. You've got 1-1. You can probably throw now a slider off of this. Yep. Oh, actually, that's a changeup, I think. Gets him on it. That's a really nice one. Okay. Good stuff, Corbin. Are you going to hit him now? Oh, my lord. Man, there's something innately wrong. And I'll say this. Even with the drop of the RPM on the slider, like, I think two things. One, even as it is right now, if he gets the fastball command going again, I think like it unlocks that timing. And yeah, I think CSW, you were talking about like this hips and stuff. I think there's just something that he hasn't quite tweaked yet that he needs to get the consistency again. Like he lost the rhythm before and needs to just get that back. But I will also say I wouldn't be too shocked if over time when he gets that command back that the slider RPMs do follow in some degree. Maybe not all the way to 2400, but higher than it currently is. I wouldn't be surprised if like that's the average and it's going down. And like on the exceptional ones, it's still higher. You know what I mean? Like RPM isn't something that's consistent with every single pitch. There are certain ones that when everything goes right that are higher than the ones that you throw poorly, So, all right, I've seen enough. I think we all have. I don't think there's anything that's going to really change things here. And I will say again, he could have gone on out of this with like 5 earned runs instead of 9. Because that was a double play ball. That's a good question. I think I'm a little lower. I'm a little bit lower after watching this. Because this feels more like, this feels a little bit more like a legit tweak that needs to be made. But we see this all the time. You know, we see guys like have this and they make that tweak, you know? And even at this point, like, okay, Corbin isn't going to be this volatile, this command. I mean, I wouldn't be actually surprised if there was some injury involved here. But yeah, I do think that there is something. And like, it feels painful, by the way. Like this is hurtful, and I feel like in so many ways, like I'm just done. If he looks anything like this in the future, like this is terrible. You know, he deserved to get beat yesterday. Like that fastball command was just all over the place. He could not trust his slider. Changeup wasn't really doing stuff. Like he made some good pitches and stuff, but it's just like, no, man, you did not deserve to avoid disaster. You know, sure, it should have been 5 earned runs or whatever, double play ball and stuff, but like, you know, you knew you were not good. I still stand by, like, 2 starts does not make a season. It's a process of adjustments. And I do believe that, like, we even saw it in at bats here. Like, you hit your 2 fastballs, you throw your slider, you get a strikeout, you know, and that's still going to be there. But yeah, I'm probably going to have Corbin around like 50, 55, because I don't want to drop him. I would like to stash him and like see if he makes an improvement next time in an adjustment. But yeah, this is very concerning. Oh yeah, I would take Means. I would take Means over Corbin. I would take Means over Corbin. This might take, I'm thinking now it might take a little bit longer than I did before. But it's still not, I don't know. I don't want to rule out, like, I think we need to understand that this could be like 2 starts away. This isn't a death sentence. It's pretty bad though. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, there's a bubble right now of experiencing that start that just, you know, if this is the first time I saw this pitcher, I'd be like, no way, never touching you. This is so bad, so deserved and stuff. And I'm trying as best as I can to remove myself from that little bubble, to acknowledge that a guy can pitch one way one day, Justin Dunn, and then pitch completely different the next. Right? Absolutely Corbin over Mitch Keller. Not even close to me. Not even close. That's the point I'm trying to make, is like Mitch Keller not having history of this and like is not as close as Corbin is. You know? I think that's actually like highlighting the point. They both were very disappointing yesterday. One of them is Keller, where there was just innate problems that need to be fixed, and that's going to take some time, just with development and like approach and all that stuff. And then there's Corbin, who was really painful and really bad. I can imagine a scenario, given his track record and everything he's done successfully, and even have moments of this inside the start, where it feels like there's something holding him back right now that he needs to push past. It could be consistency. It could be timing. It could be even something that's hurting him. I don't know. But it seems feasible that he can make that adjustment and tweak and then be a much better pitcher. Does that make sense? No, I prefer Corbin than Cobb. I mean, long term, it's Corbin. If you want to take Cobb for one start, sure. But I think Cobb is going to have like a quick thing of like, hey, I'm throwing splitters, and it works for a moment, and then it doesn't one start, and then it's just gone. You know? But yeah, I'm going to be harsher on Corbin. I appreciate that you guys made me watch this. Yeah. That was, I want to stop staring at this. I don't want to look at this anymore. Just pain. Just pain, man. They told us, ignore 2020. I think this is a rule of like, I don't know. We should be, I don't know. It's weird. Paddock or Corbin is a very good question. Huh. Corbin. I'm saying that based on like in 2 weeks, who do I think takes a step forward more? Or more in a month. Because I'm not even joking. I wouldn't be shocked if like Corbin hits the IL. Because I feel like there is something holding him back. And I'm not sure what it is yet. But there is something. And it might be like an injury thing, and that means hey, just like take like 2 weeks off and like rest this, and you'd come back fresher and everything like that, you know. So I'm leaning Corbin. Like from June 1st to the rest of the year, Corbin's gonna be better than Paddock. That's how I feel. I hope that makes sense. But all right, guys, it's 11. Man, I had 2.5 hours. I got things I gotta take care of now. I gotta do this Reddit AMA. So. Thanks so much for being a part of this. I'll see you guys on Monday. We've got lots of streaming then. I like these video room stuff. I'm going to try and do them as much as I can. I'll probably extend the first pitch stuff on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to include this. And that kind of will be that bonus stream I talk about every time. So, but anyway, thank you all so much for being a part of this. And as always, may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high. Take care, guys.